Well, good morning. And yeah, we stayed in a campground called Sleepy Dragon. It was $40.
With electric.
With electric. Had showers. We didn't use them.
Not because they were dirty, they were just small.
They were small and kind
Very
of
claustrophobic.
and not heated. And yesterday was cold. Today's cold. And there's no reception here, at least for Verizon. It was kind of RV park-like, except that, like when we stayed
A lot of trees.
well, I was going to say, when we stayed at KOAs, we kind of like on a gravel thing. We had a pad and grass around us and trees. And the nice thing was, I think kids would love it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it had a huge field. Carol she took Trigger out and threw his toy for him and stuff. They didn't seem to really care too much what you did as long as you probably don't bother anyone else. But anyway, just wanted to give you a little intros. We're in Rio, and it is pronounced Rio, Wisconsin. And it's supposed to have a good meat market. All right. Okay, we are in the town of Portage, Wisconsin right now. We'll talk about the town a little bit later, but this is the surgeon's cabin. We'll get out here, just kind of walk around. Fortunately, we're kind of early, so it's not open. But these buildings, I guess the surgeon's quarters here is one of, so what did we say, 1828?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's original building on its original foundation. So
It was originally like a fur trading post and portage business, but then became part of the fort.
right, so let's get out and take a look. Yeah, so finally a right proper stop here on the Empire Builder in Portage. So we're all gonna head over to the Indian Agency, original Indian Agency here as well in a little bit. It's another building that's original on its original foundation, so it should be kind of cool. Let's take a look. Okay, so we are here at the Garrison School. It's kind of interesting because Carol said that the date was after the fort, but if you want to read it, you can read it really quick. I'll show you, but like Carol said, in 1820, this building was built for business, and then the Army acquired it and possibly used it as a headquarters for building Fort Winnebago. But well, this is an interesting cannon. I always find these cannons interesting because look how thick this is and how small of an opening it has. And it must be like, the difference in the material of the cannon, how much pressure it can handle, given, Trigger's having a blast here. Probably not legally. Wow, look at the chinking on this thing. Of course, they got everything locked up, unfortunately. Yeah, can you imagine this goes back to 1820? Obviously they probably re-roofed it, but this is the original foundation. It's pretty cool. Boy, if these logs go back to 1820, isn't that amazing? Whew. An old well. Smart they not only blocked it off with the bars, but it's filled with gravel. Oh, that's a beautiful sundial here. Dragonfly, I guess. Dragonfly theme. Let's see around the front here. So it says Garrison School. In continuous service 1850 to 1860. And that's what Carol was saying, was she thinks the fort was out of commission before 1850. But they may have called it that because the fort had been here. Probably part of it still was. But the surgeon's house is all that's left. Just says gift of. Yeah, the surgeon's house is all that's left of the old fort, so. We keep hearing cranes. It's like the sandhill cranes that we see in New Mexico. Of course, that's in March. Yeah, so the town of Portage here was significant because it was where they would come down on the Fox River and then, or up or whatever, and then portage across to the Wisconsin River to continue on their journey. And I'm not sure where the journey went to, but there's also a portage canal that they built. We'll have maybe a little more information on that when Carol comes back. She's my historian on this, and I think that's the canal right down there. And apparently the canal, I don't know if you can see it back there, it's back behind where Trigger's running, was built along the terminal moraine from the Ice Age. And apparently there is the Ice Age Trail here, which is administered by the National Park Service. We're headed to the Indian Agency now, and it was 1832.
Yeah.
It's original on its original foundation, and I guess just like the surgeons, these are like some of the oldest buildings in Wisconsin that are still on their foundation. So this is Portage, and we'll talk. I think it's fairly large. What is it? 12,000 people, Carol?
10-5.
10-5. Oops.
Next right, it says.
Oh, next right. Okay. Signs. Huh?
There was a pair of turkeys on the side of the road.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Ice Age Trail right down here. Now this is the canal.
Part of the canal runs along the Ice Age Trail.
Yeah. So the Portage Canal is right down here. They don't really give a date for it, but this was the Portage area, and I guess they put it in the canal to help them,
get between the Fox and the Wisconsin rivers.
Yeah, so you could see
A lot of water lilies down there.
canal's pretty clogged up with water lilies, but you can see it down there. Oh, this is a pretty impressive house. I was expecting a log cabin. So the Indian agent here, 1832, he was the liaison between the federal government and the Winnebago tribe. It's like we have a Winnebago summer home. So let me get parked, and I'll turn this thing off and we'll talk more. All right, well, across the parking lot here, it kind of shows several different trails, and I believe it says something about the Ice Age Trail here. So maybe the brown is the Ice Age Trail, and then there's some other trails around here. I guess if you want to experience the natural environment. However, it stinks here. Maybe they're doing some road work or something, but yeah. This looks like an old dugout canoe, which is starting to rot. Definitely looks like it's starting to rot here. Actually, it looks like somebody burnt it. I think some...
Had a big weekend here.
Oh. Maybe they were making it because I...
Probably making it was probably a demonstration of how they...
Right, yeah, because they would often burn out the insides of the log to make it. So maybe that was it. Another Winnebago type. I don't know what they call them. I don't see any sign. It's kind of cool. It's all lashed together. See the lashing. They probably would have used hide.
They call the wiki up?
I don't know that the Winnebagos made wiki-ups. That might be a different tribe. Well, they've got a ton of signs out here if you want to do the trail. Wawaji, Aja, or something. What we know as Portage is a prominent place in the stories of how Ho-Chunk families navigated the 41 years during the U.S. government attempt to expel them from their homeland. Ho-Chunk voices resounded at this place during these decades, and the people of the big voice endure here to the present. I believe Ho-Chunk and Winnebago are the same. Yeah. So you had the Indian Removal Act of 1830. Wawa Anja, lift above the head, is a Ho-Chunk place name which refers to the process of carrying a canoe between Fox and Wisconsin rivers. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's take a look down here. Okay, so the sign there, the Fox River and the Wisconsin River and the Aja or whatever, present day Waona Trail. So that was the Portage, which the canal was to fix. But yeah, Native Americans having to leave their lands. Indian Removal Act, 1836. Yeah, from Henry Dodge pursued remaining Ho-Chunk lands east of the Mississippi. Ho-Chunk Voices united in preventing this land from being lost. Dodge sought real estate, but instead received a history lesson from Chiefs Wakahaga, Snakeskin, Decorah. Oh, an unauthorized treaty at Washington, D.C. seized all remaining Ho-Chunk land. Wow. 1829, Portage had been guaranteed to Ho-Chunk people as a meeting place for the next 30 years. However, by 37, officials insist on meeting them only in the vicinity of their reservation. Wow. Yeah, so in January of 1873, they decided to get rid of the Ho-Chunk from this area completely, and natives were concerned about the fact that they would use soldiers and lock up people, and they said, oh no, we're not going to do that. December 20th, 3 a.m., they surrounded their village with federal troops and forced them onto trains. That was the beginning of the final forced expulsion of Portage. Okay, yeah, all right, let's go check out the Indian Agent Home. Well, this explains the burning and stuff by the dugout canoe. So it was yesterday they were doing a demonstration. May 5th, October 15th, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4. Okay, so this is the house, not the other one. So now I'm not really sure. Looking over here, I don't think this is the agency house. No, this isn't the agency. This is the agency house over here. That's weird. Have agency house on that. Okay. Yeah, built on Ho-Chunk land across from the Fox River from Winnebago, Fort Winnebago. Much more impressive than the other one. Boy, it's hard to believe something like this, 1832. Original house on the original foundation. Very cool. I think we're way too early to get in. I think it said it's 10 o'clock or something. Yeah, National Register of Historic Places. It's pretty awesome. It's got a doorbell. It's got a storm cellar too. Wonder if it opens. It didn't open. A nice little garden.
It's got squash.
Corn's kind of dried out. Looks like it's been picked. Got some squash down in there. Don't know if can kind of see it over here, I think. Well, unfortunately, we're just here a little too early. So we're going to go into the town. We'll talk a little bit more about the town. And then we'll be moving on. There might be something else in town here. I can't remember. Yeah, so just a little bit more about Portage. Apparently in the 1600s, there were trappers here. And in fact, in 1692, I believe it was, Marquette and Joliet came to this area, passed through, I guess. But it wasn't until the 1780s when the warehouses and other buildings started being built here. So we're going to go through the town. I've got something else I wanted to go by. I always thought it was kind of cool because it's kind of an old classic. So we're going to go there, and then we'll be driving through the town a little bit later. All right. Well, we're on our way to that little classic place that I wanted to go, but it looks so cool coming in here into the town that I thought I'd just turn it on and we'll get a little preview. We're
Couldn't resist.
Oh, especially that great building straight ahead. We're actually going to come back up here, like I said, and drive through the town. Man, what a great little town. This may be putting the camera on the hood worthy. Not really a major stop, but every time I come by here, I got to photograph this place, so thought I'd do it for you guys. All right. The old classic A&W All-American drive-through, or drive-in, I guess. Yeah. All right. That'll do it. Okay, we're going back into the downtown area of Portage, and Carol was looking it up, and apparently the canal, even though we think it started like in the early part of the 1800s, wasn't finished until 1878 because it's really marshy and
It's really marshy, and they couldn't really dig anything wider than for a canoe. So it really wasn't useful for trade until the Corps of Engineers built it with locks in the 1870s.
this is an interesting building, whatever it is, coming up here on the left side.
No, it says City Bank of Portage.
Oh, I see up on top.
Oh.
It goes straight. Doesn't look like anything's off to the right. There is a little bit of a downtown off the side street here, but it's all right. We don't need to see every little thing in the town. Big Dog Saloon. We have to go by the whatever church this is, since it's there. And then we're on to actually kind of an interesting little town if you're not familiar with this
So we're
area.
not going to find the Amtrak station?
Oh, that's right. We have to find the Amtrak station. St. Mary, it's a Catholic. All right, I'm going to turn this off and we'll go find Amtrak. The houses here at the corner. Hopefully, the mic's still recording on it. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, not far from the train tracks, so
Yeah, we are coming up to the Amtrak station here. Another big one here on the left side. Wow. Kind of cool. Can't even tell if anyone's there, living there. Another one here. Interesting. Maybe at one point, it was a big thing to be by the train. Probably a lot of center of the business activity was right at the train back in the day, because there's really some nice houses right here. And I see Amtrak. Portage Yard. Also looks like a fairly big train yard too. A lot of trains parked here. Or a lot of train cars we can see, that's for sure. Yeah, here's the Amtrak station right here. We're not going to get out here. Might be another one of these stops where they, if someone's there, they stop the train, then you pay when you get on. So. All right, I'm going to pull over here, get this camera off here, and we'll be off to the next place.